Hey guys, it's Melissa McGarvey, and there's been something on my mind. As you guys know, I go to a lot of parties, and one of the things that we do as promoters of the challenge, which is why what we do is so awesome, is we get paid to share our story. And something I notice at parties time and time again, obviously an important part of challenge parties is getting the opportunity to share the stories in the room. So what I want to encourage you to do is really dig down and find out, what is your story? What's your story so far? What are the key points of your challenge? What are the hallmarks of your journey in the business so far? And what are the highlights of your story? And try to find your message, because what I find is, as we know, Visalis is powerful because we have a simple message. The company uses a very simple message the whole way through. When you think about it, by the time someone gets started in the business, they have seen usually a 5-minute video, listened to a 3-minute phone call, watched a 25-minute video, and watched a 10-minute getting started training. So that means in like an hour of time, they're given all the tools they need to go change their life. That's a pretty simple, concise message, and it works very well. So what we want to do is keep with the system, and when it's our turn to share our story at the end of a challenge party, we need to keep our message simple. And so instead of having a 5-minute testimonial that's maybe not completely thought out, and it starts to go down the journey of, well, I went over to my friend's house and they tried to make me a shake and I didn't drink my shake, and then I sat on my sample for 3 weeks, and then I wanted to get started, but then I didn't get started, but then I finally did get started, and that starts to really lose the message. Like, people start to not understand what the point is. And so I encourage you to have a 60-second testimonial. Sit down with yourself, write down the key points of what it is that you want to get through on your testimonial, and keep cutting it down until it's 60 seconds of what we call a stick of dynamite. People just want the high points, give them the message, and move on. And especially in group party settings and times when we have got a lot of testimonials, having just a stick of dynamite after a stick of dynamite is way more effective than 5 people who have 5-minute stories where nobody's quite sure what the point was. So my encouragement to you is to maximize your testimonials, because we do get paid to share our story, but the better and more concise our story is, the more effective it will be to get our point across, is to sit down, figure out your 60-second story, and practice until that is your story. So that's what you're using when you're asked about your story. It makes it great too when it's pared down to 60 seconds. If you're in a setting where someone wants to know what your story is, maybe it's where you're talking to someone brand new and they want to know about the challenge, 60 seconds is going to be great than rambling on and on and on, not quite sure where you're going with it, especially if you're nervous or otherwise feel unprepared. Then having something that's in your mind already that hits the high points is going to leave a much bigger impact in that situation. So sit down, get your 60-second story, and go rock those challenge parties, guys.